Another way we can interpret data and analyze it is to bring up a histogram. To do that, we go to the home screen, data and statistics, we add a variable, let's add the assists, and what you'll actually find is it turns these dots into a bar. So we change it to a plot type and we hit histogram, and you can see that now it's actually displaying the frequency on the y-axis. So it's really easy to see that the most common is now 13. So it's 7, the amount of cysts was 7, and it happens 13 times. And we can see that quite easily. One of the advantages of using a histogram is that it can group data together. In this particular one for assists, it's grouped them in intervals of 1, but in something like Cleveland's score, it will actually group them in groups of, say, 5. So you can see in this one, it happens 15 times that Cleveland scored between 109 and 114, which is being displayed up above this bar. If I go to this one says that 16 times Cleveland scored between 114 and 119. So it's a better way to group data that has a bigger range. Because remember, that was one of the disadvantages of a dot plot. We can change how much of a scale that is if we like. So if we go to menu, plot properties, histogram properties, bin settings, bin settings equal bin width. Width is how much we want to have grouped together. Let's say we have it grouped in tens, and the alignment is where it starts. Let's start it at, say, 60. What this will do is it will go, well, there's obviously nothing below 60 because the minimum was 74, but you can see it's grouped it from 70 to 80, from 80 to 90, from 90 to 100. The problem is we can't see how big these go. So we need to go to menu, zoom data. That's the best one to use because it will zoom to whatever best fits our data. So in this case, now we can see that 19 times they scored between 100 and 110, 31 times they scored between 110 and 120, 20 times they scored from 120 to 130, and so on. So if we wanted to make the bins really wide, we could continue to go to plot properties, histogram properties, bin settings equal bin width, change it to 20, and keep the alignment at 60. We'd then have to go to menu, zoom, data. We can now see that 50 times they scored between 100 and 120. 27 times they scored between 120 and 140. So this obviously has some real advantages because whilst we're graphing 92 games, in this case, we've actually only drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. So it was quite simple to draw, even though there's 92 things being displayed. And that's because we've got this frequency table on the y-axis.